as we are loading on in. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Solaris, we have our Red Zerg team. Our Red Zerg team, we have Wayne, YoungYakov, and Nikich. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have their opponent, their opposing team. We have MindelVK, Art, and NightPhoenix. Here we go. The 3v3 Archon mode does continue. And what I will say is that it is considered by most that Zerg is the weakest in Archon mode. The reason why I would say this is because both Protoss and Terran, they have a better way to have an extra player like do stuff. So for example, from the Terran side, as we saw many times in the last game, you can have a player controlling drops. You can have a player with like a double medevac drop or a triple medevac drop. With a Assault Army, you know, like harassing and poking and prodding. Likewise with Protoss, you can have like DT harass and DT and Zealot run-bys, and a player controlling that as well, and of course having that split army. Here for Zerg, there are Ling run-bys, yes. You can have a player doing Ling run-bys, that is true, but your army is going to be significantly less complex as a Terran and Protoss would, just because you have a lot more available and a lot more at your disposal. So in a Zerg Archon mode, there's less for an extra player to do. That's what I'm saying. There's less for an extra player to do. You can have like a player with like, I guess, controlling the queens and spreading creep. That's true. You can. That's one good thing. You can have a player dedicated to creep spread. That is something you can pull off. But outside of that, like you have a player macroing and you have another player like maybe with some harassing force. We'll see. We'll see how they deviate and how they split up their attention and they split up their tasks. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Del Dutch Gut Phoenix. Thank you so much for resubscribing. Oh my god, for 51 months. That's a lot of months, baby. That's a lot of months. A lot of months. Quack, baby, quack. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying the new year. Hope you're having a good time. For those wondering, Phoenix, of course, a longtime supporter and a fellow member of the Cranky Ducklings. One of the later editions of the Cranky Ducklings, but a member nonetheless. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Always fun. Quack, quack. Hope you're doing well. Much love to Phoenix. Ooh, as we do have a Stargate opener. Okay, going to be a Stargate opener here out of Team Protoss. Meanwhile, Hatchgas pull into a third, which is going to be droning. I'm sure we have a player controlling the Queen. I'm sure we have a player controlling the Lings. As Adept has arrived. Both Queen and Lings are going to be pulling back here to deal with this. Who's going to be in control of the creep? That's the real question. Who has the best creep spread? I wonder. As we are not going Oracle, we're going Void Ray first? Oh my god, we are looking to meme it up a little bit. Potentially. Okay, so we do have our Adepts once again shading around the map here. Going to be shutting down some of these tumors. Trying to at least. You get one. Good pick up. Now, with a Void Ray opener, the goal is to shut down this Overlord. The goal is to keep the Zerg player in the dark as to what is going on. And from here, we can go into a couple of different directions. We can go for a standard game. We can go for Glaive Adepts. We can go for Charge. There is a lot available here to the Protoss with said Void Ray as we are looking for Overlord kills. Two of them have been spotted. Third base is being taken. Adepts are in position. And the Void Ray does come across one Overlord already. And we're going to be looking for another. Queens are moving forward, getting in position, forcing this back. Now what's important is that behind this we're going into Oracles. Oracles are coming out, they are unscattered. We are unaware of the Oracle aggression on the way. Things they try to dip in. Here we go, we have the Oracle going towards that main. Void Ray taking quite a bit of damage here. But the Oracle does dip in. What do we have in the main to defend? We have two Queens of Spores late. Oh, it's a late spore here from the Zerg team. As a result, we get 2 drone kills before being forced out. Plus on melee is on the way, so it looks like Ling Bane Roach Ravager, or potentially just pure Ling Bane. Pretty common on Solaris. Second Oracle's moving out. We have one Oracle for the natural, one Oracle in the main base. And I'm still waiting for the transition here of the Protoss. Whether we go for a Twilight Council plus a Forge, and there it is. Looks like plus on Blink. I do really like Blink Stalkers for Archon mode just because you can, of course, individually blink all the Stalkers and have a lot of micro potential. Oracles, they come in, they get 4 or 5 worker kills. Very nicely done here in the natural. We do take a bit of hull damage, but damage was done. Oh, good positioning. Almost shut down an Oracle. And it looks like we are going Ling Bane. Okay, so it's going to be Ling Bane into Hive Tech, into, I imagine, Ultras from the Zerg team. Blair is now on the way. Void Ray does arrive. Going to be applying a lot of pressure here to this northern base. At the same time, we have Oracles towards the south. And we have Adepts coming in at the same time. We have 5 Adepts. We have the Void Ray and the 2 Oracles. Can the Zerg team keep up? So we don't commit to the shade, but we get a surround. We just surround these Adepts, and they should be shut down. It is 5 Adepts, so they trade well, but it will be cleaned up. So a good cleanup here from the Zerg team. Behind this, plus on and Blink. Again, I do really like Blink Stalkers here in Archon mode, just because you can have a player that can just hyper fixate on Blink control. As the Banelings are finishing up here, we want to try to bust into the natural. Or bust into the third. Oracles are spotted, sorry, the Banelings are spotted by the Oracles. And they will break in. The wall is not a wall. The Lings, they flood into the natural. We have Links into the natural, Links into the main. Probes are going down. Good probe drilling here. We lose only 2 probes. I spoke too soon. 3. But for the Bane Bust to only kill 3 workers, like, this is a good defense from the Protoss and not quite worth it for the Zerg. Behind us, that one Void Ray. It's on. Oh my! It's on 1 HP. Get out of here. The 1 HP Void Ray. Shout out to whoever's controlling this. That's their one job for the game. Keep the Void Ray alive. Oh, we come back in. Oh, Casito. Ooh, a big overextension. You have to be careful. Void Ray does pull back. At the same time, Lings, they threaten a run by. Defend. Void Ray still being active. Oracles from behind. Get a revelation. Don't commit. And we do see our Zerg team here initially going Ling Bane into Roach Ravager. There's Roach range, Roach speed on the way. So Ling Bane, Roach Ravager, a very solid composition here in the mid game. Void Ray still being a nuisance here. It looks like 1 Oracle did get picked up. The stutter stepping. I'm telling you, there's one guy controlling that Void Ray. Let's go. See, it doesn't even meet up with the main army. So here we go. Adept's going to be shading in. Void Ray does pull back. Oh my god. Be careful, you're going for the Ravagers. Send it back. Big overextension with these Stalkers, though. The Lings, they look for a surround. A big catch here. 14 Zerg at the same time. A Stalker counterattack here towards the south. Stalkers are being cleaned up. Looks like the Void Ray went down. No, the Void Ray does fall, but we have Adepts in the natural. We have Stalkers at the third. Good positioning. And drones are falling. The main army was dealt with, that is true. But the economy for the Zerg player, oh my god, taking a lot of damage as we shade into the main and we blink into the main as well. The stasis. Let's go. We catch the workers. From here, we can blink back into the natural as well, back into the third. But we are in position. Cloud's going to be connecting. Stalkers get cleaned up, but the Adepts, they still wreak havoc in the main. 23 workers go down, and the Zerg team is being pulled apart. And we're not done. More Stalkers reinforcing here on this base. Remember, the Void Ray softened it up for the Stalkers. One more volley, and it will go down. We are getting caught here. Ooh, the blink not quite enough. An expensive loss here for Team Protoss. A lot of Stalkers going down. And we have momentum. We got to send it. We got to go. Zerg team, we got to go, papi. And we are pushing towards these bases here of Protoss. At the same time, dropping to the main. There are Queens, though. Queens in position. And we can focus on the main push. Stalkers coming in, but where's the splash damage? No Archons, no Colossi. Lings can deal with this. Yeah, a bit of awkward movements. Roach is pushing on in. 12 workers go down. Biles! Oh my god. I mean, overall, looks like we're going to be able to barely hold on. The Lings are being cleaned up. Really good Lings here from the Protoss. Good Lings overall, but Stalkers, they're falling. They're trading Lings for Stalkers. Good trade here for the Zerg team. But remember, they don't have an economy. The Zerg team, they're out of money. They're out of resources. They're out of workers. They're pretty all in here. We have to break them. We have to break through, and we barely are. At the same time, warp it into the main. Oh, these Stalkers are so low. Stalkers are so low, and it looks like with the help of these Oracles, we will clean up the Roaches and the Ravagers. Meanwhile, across the map, Adepts are still focusing down drones. Again, good target firing here from these Adepts as we shade it into the third base as well. And even though we traded well against the army, even though the Zerg team took down a lot of Stalkers, what about the workers? The probe count is still healthy. We have the fourth base up and running. The Protoss is up in economy. 59 probes to the 51 drones of the Zerg. The Oracle comes back in. We get even more drones. Oh, the Oracle will barely escape. The creep is looking good. Like, when it comes to the Zerg team, whoever's creeping, like, the creep is solid. But the defense has been lacking, and in the midst of all these big attacks, there's just been very little to defend back at home. The Protoss team has done a great job here of just constantly harassing and constantly crippling the economy. As I say that, big Ling run by, but we have Oracles to defend. We should be able to focus down the Nexus. Nexus will go down alongside 6 probes. Good pickoff. Good pickoff overall. But the creep is receding, and remember, there are very few active tumors. There we go. We're trying to spread as much creep as possible. Trying to keep this creep threat up. Storm is on the way. That's the big thing we've been missing. Splash damage has been no good answer for these Lings. Lings are ideal against Stalkers. That's why we need Archons, Storm, Colossus, well, anything. We're getting there. We can see our Zerg team just rebuilding that drone count, getting back up to 60. Still behind economically, by the way. Forward base being taken, but now we cannot hold on to it. It's going to be cancelled. Again, so far, our Zerg team doing a great job here at containing the Protoss to 3 bases. Devastation Bit's on the way for Hive Tech. 5th base as well. Zella run by gets a couple of workers. Are these the same 3 original, or they are? These are the 3 Oracles from the start of the game, still alive. But yeah, this is all we need to do. Just continue to force a cancel on this expansion. Contain to 3 bases. That's the win condition here for the Zerg team, while they rebuild and remax. We have a player here controlling, just clearing up as much creep as possible. And they're on creep clearing duty. Stays trapped on the oil. Big storm! Oh my god! Massive storms here on the Ling Bane. And most of it does go down. Only Roaches do survive. Another storm as well. At the same time, that creep clearing squad does head into a mineral line. Not the best trade. Lings will clean this up. That does mean the Lings can't reinforce. Roaches, they try to push in. Queens as well looking to support. And good control with the Oracles. The Archons do finally go down. Without the Archons and Lings, they can wreak havoc. But another Archon does morph in just in time. Have our Archon. The Oracle. No! 100% is the player controlling the Oracles. Drawing away some of the fire of the Queens. As we do force this back. Again, a good trade here from Team Protoss, cleaning up all the links, getting on top of the Roches, trading very efficiently. And now finally, the fourth. It finally gets up and running. And that means that Team Protoss are still in this. They are in this. The Oracles, they go for a big counterattack, and they find an empty mineral line. There's no queens. 5 workers go down, 6, 7, and we can just keep on going. We have shields to work with. We can tank a couple of spore hits. And we are gaining ground. Protoss is gaining ground. Oracles are saved once again. Making sure there is no mining in that center base. Good blinks with these stalkers. Oh, we have a lurker den on the way. Lunkers, Papi, they're on the way. But overall, these are just such efficient trades. We even have the Oracles to support, so in case Lings do get a wrap around them, we have the Oracles for their pulsar beams. A couple of stalkers do get picked up. At the same time, the Zealot run by runs into reinforcements. Here we go. We do have a big warp into stalkers. Protoss just making sure there's just almost no crease red here. Shutting it all down. Our Zerg team is transitioning into Hydra Lurker Viper. We're getting there. We're trying to at least. The Oracles, they come back in. No shot. Once again, no queens, no spore. 10 more drones go down. These Oracles are the MVPs. Whoever, I guarantee you the person that's controlling these Oracles was controlling the Void Ray earlier. They've been alive the entire game, just constantly getting drone kills. Constantly just crippling the economy of the Zerg. Ay, ay, ay. How many kills? 43! Okay. 43 kills on this Oracle. We have 34 on this one and 8 on this one. There's one Oracle that's been getting less action. That's crazy. Oh my god. That 43 Oracle kill. Zealot run by coming in. More drones going down. The Zerg team always just stuck perpetually redroning. Lurkers are in position. We have finally teched into Lurker, which means we can try to fortify ourselves here. But the Zealots are getting even more damage. Again, someone controlling these Zealots getting 13 drone kills. Ay, ay, ay. Massive storm. Meanwhile, the Lings, they do dive on top of the High Templar. Yeah, the High Templar going to be going down. Big overextension. Can we collapse on these Stalkers, though? Good target find. We get 2 Lurkers. 2 Lurkers go down. Roaches and Ravagers. Really good trade here. Coming back in. At the same time, a Ling run by is attempted, but we are in position. And the Zealot run bys, they don't stop. I feel like whoever was controlling the Oracles earlier is now controlling these Zealot run bys. There's like a person dedicated to harass. These Zealots, they get 8 worker kills once again. Like the Oracles, they've been left idle. So whoever was controlling the Oracles, they've put the Oracles on rest. You know, they've done well for themselves. They're resting. It's all about the Zealots. Oh, I say we snipe another one of those Lurkers. Again, really good blink movement here. And here we go. The Oracles, they're back online. They're coming back in. The MVPs. As this time, though, we're a lot more secure. 3 Lurkers, Queens, Spores as well. The Zerg team, they've learned their lesson. They're ready for it. As I say that, the Zealots, they bypass the Lurkers. Force them out of position. The Oracle's taking some hull damage. At the same time, 2 armies skirmishing in the center of the map. Big spine shots going off. Zealots once again avoiding those Lurkers, getting another 3 drones. The Lurkers get caught! Massive catch here, and so many Lurkers go down. We have detection as well. How many was that? 11. 11 Lurkers fall. The Oracles, they come back in. They get another 7 drone kills as well. The Oracle's still going ham, still alive. And we got a mass around here on the lurkers. A big catch. And just like that, Team Protoss, we're getting out of control. We're getting out of hand at this point. The Spore went down. 11 drone kills. No! One of the Oracles. 1 HP. 1 HP Oracle escapes. Oh my god, it's got 40 kills. And GG gets called. It's just too much. Team Protoss snowball out of control. MindelVK, YoungYakov just went down. MindelVK, Art, and NightPhoenix will take down Team Zerg. GG. Oh my god. Too much to handle here. Nikich, Wayne, and YoungYakov, they could not keep up with the constant harass. There was just constant Oracle harass, Void Ray harass, Zealot run-bys, Adepts, Stalkers. There was one moment, my favorite moment of that game, I don't know if you remember this. There was a moment where we had Adepts shading into the natural, then they shaded into the main. Clearly there was one player controlling those Adepts. And very clearly, there was another player controlling the Stalkers, and we had a Stalker counterattack at the third. And then they joined forces, where the Adepts gave vision for the Stalkers in the main, and the Stalkers blinked up into the main base as well. And you saw both players like working together to just harass and just pull apart the Zerg. Like that was a really cool moment. That was a really standout moment for me. Obviously, there was the Oracle harass as well, and the constant Zealot run-bys and all that stuff. But that was just a really cool moment that stood out. Outside of that, that was, again, once again, a bit of a comeback here where the Protoss team were stuck and contained to 3 bases. The moment where they were stuck on 3 bases, I was like, there's no shot, right? Where Zerg team, where they were up in workers, up in army supply, up in bases, containing the Protoss team for so long on 3 bases, but eventually they broke out, and they didn't just break out, they were doing so well, harassing and trading so efficiently against the army. I spoke about this before, but Protoss have a lot of potential in Archon mode because you can do so much with so little, right? Like, whether it's having one person dedicated to Blink Stalker Micro, and you saw, like, these Stalkers, they traded so efficiently against everything they were facing off against. You can have a player dedicated to, like, the Stalker army. You can have a player dedicated to harass, right? With the Oracles, for example. We opened up Stargate into Triple Oracle, and those Oracles, they lived throughout the entire game, getting so much value over the course of that game. So the Oracle's getting value, the Zealot run-bys, of course, the Prism Micro, the Prism harass, the Adept harass. There's just, Protoss's units have so much potential when it comes to they have so much micro potential, and yeah, with Archon mode, you can really make use of that. Even with units that we didn't see, right, like with Disruptors, with High Templar, there are so many like skill-based and spell-based units. Force Fields, for example, Blink is the big one, but yeah, like if you have someone that can just fixate and focus on just unit control like that, like, there's just so much you can do, and GG. GG, well played. A shout out to our Protoss team of NightPhoenix, Art, and MindelVK. They shut down both a Zerg team and a Terran team as well. Really cool stuff. And really fun games. Really fun games. GG. GG, well played. Oh my god. And with that does wrap up our broadcast. Tonight. We only had 3 replays to cover, but really fun games. And I do think that the AI match really set the pace for the rest of these Archon matches, because it's very similar, right? Where AI have unlimited APMs, they control all their individual units, and we had something similar here where we had 3 players controlling an army, and you could see how things get really chaotic and just action all over the place. Fighting all over the place as well. Really cool stuff. Oh, and it looks like the 3rd Terran, it was Milky Cow, Nicorect, and Wannabe Bjorn. Oh, there you go. Now we know. Wannabe Bjorn was the 3rd Terran player. There we go. I'm just checking. They do have a Wikipedia page. Ooh, Terran player from Belarus. Oh, I see. I understand. Was on Cascade. But with that, oh, they played in a New Year 2v2 Cup as well. There's so much content. There's so much content, man. Aye, aye, aye. Let's GG, well played. Solid games here, solid matches between all of our players as well. You know, if it wasn't for Milky Cow, Nikich, Wannabe Bjorn, and of course the Zerg team, we wouldn't have had these amazing games. So they may not have won, but really fun series nonetheless. And again, a shout out to Tier and the Probot match, the AI versus AI, was a lot of fun. If you missed out on it, I highly recommend checking out the games that we just casted, all of them. Like all these viewer submitted replays were high quality. Ah, they were beautiful. And yeah, thank you so much. Something different. It was something different. It was great. With that, we are done with our broadcast for tonight. We earlier wrapped up with the New Year's Cup. And a big shout out to NightPhoenix for winning that as well. And we'll be back tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow in less than 24 hours. We're going to be casting Home Story Cup. Home Story Cup Group D. Now, we already casted Group A, B, and C for Home Story Cup. We've been working through the group stage. And tomorrow we'll be going over Group D for Home Story Cup 24. Again, it's an event that was last month. It was in December. Was in December of 2023, but we're going over the group stage to catch up with matches that we did miss out on, and there's been a lot of really good matches there. So yeah, check us out tomorrow if you're interested. Otherwise, this weekend is a really big weekend for us. Masters Coliseum. Masters Coliseum is going to be on over the weekend, and it's a lot of StarCraft. Masters Coliseum 7 starts on Saturday, and it starts on Saturday the 13th, and it ends on Sunday the 28th of January. So we have a full month of StarCraft. A full just over 2 weeks. Just over 2 weeks of StarCraft of Masters Coliseum every single day. So make sure you tune in, make sure you're a part of that. It's a big premiere event, and the best of the best will be there. The best from Europe, the best from Korea, and the best from North America. They all come together for Masters Coliseum. So we'll see you then on Saturday. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We'll see you guys tomorrow for some Home Story Cup action. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, exclamation mark socials in the chat. And you can watch our VODs on YouTube as well. So check us out on YouTube. Plenty of content is available. Otherwise, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Bye. Hasta luego, papi. Hasta luego.